Hello everyone. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about USCS 201, that is Core Java. I am Madhuri Nagare and I am going to take this subject in this semester. Okay. So before starting with the actual curriculum, let us discuss the syllabus of unit number 1. This unit number 1 is divided into 4 different parts. First is the Java language. Here you will understand the basic introduction about the Java programming language. In the second part, that is OOPS, here you will understand the basic OOPS concept, that is object oriented programming system concepts. Next, in this unit we will also learn about string manipulations, how to manipulate the string, how to perform different operations on the string, and at the last we will also discuss about the packages. Packages are the kind of libraries. Here we will see how you can create your own package and how we can use the readily available packages. Also, we will discuss the use of different access modifiers in this unit. Okay, so let us start. Unit number 1, Introduction to the Java language. So, what is Java? What is Java language? So, Java nowadays, if you trace or if you find information on the internet, if you search on the Google, Java is one of the most popular and used language in the industry. Okay, what is this Java? Java is not only a programming language but also a single platform. It is not only a programming language but it is a complete platform because Java is having a huge library which is containing the lots of reusable code. Many codes are ready to use. You just have to import that library in your code and use it. Okay. It also provides many features like execution environment that provides the services such as security, portability across operating systems and automatic garbage collections. All these are the very good features which are provided by the Java. Okay. Java is developed by Sun Microsystems. Okay, in 1991. The next is why Java is so popular. Why Java is so popular? The reason is, see, anything become popular, animal become popular because of its feature, right? So the reason for making the Java is so popular is that it has a object oriented it has a features like object oriented, platform independent. It does not use the pointer. It has a support for multi-threading. It has robust execution of program, means robust exception handling, very strong exception handling mechanism. It has a good security feature and it allows us to create applets and servlets which will be executed on the World Wide Web. And there are many more features which are available in Java which makes Java very popular. Okay, let us discuss what are these features which about I am talking. Okay, what are the different features of Java which makes it very popular? So there are many features, but we are going to discuss some important features of Java language here. Many times the question is asked on this topic in the examination. What are the different features of Java? Or explain any 3 features, explain any 5 features of Java. Okay? Or sometimes the name will be given, explain in the platform independent and secure feature of Java. That way question can be asked on this topic. So students listen carefully and understand the concept of features of Java programming language. Okay? The first feature is it is object oriented. As it supports the feature of object oriented, many of the object oriented concepts are used in Java. Java is very simple because it follows the traditional programming formats like C, C++. Okay, so that will make the Java program very simpler. The third is secure. The applications which are created in Java are virus free, so that makes the programs of Java more secure. Fourth one is platform independent. You can this Java program written in one platform, this can be easily executed on the another platform, which makes it platform independent. Means the program written on Windows will easily execute on the Linux platforms. Okay. The fifth feature is robust. Robust means strong. Okay. So it has a strong mechanism, very strong mechanism like garbage collection, for memory management, exception handling for error management. Okay, so this program language is having many robust features that will make the program this Java language robust. Okay, then next is portable. Java is a portable, as I already explained in the platform independent. The same way, you can easily port your code from one place to another place as it is without any modification. Okay, this will make it portable. Seventh one is the architecture neutral. As Java doesn't depend on any specific architecture, so Java is an architecture neutral language. Next is dynamic, as it supports the loading of classes at the runtime garbage collection, which makes the Java dynamic. Next, ninth one is interpreted. The Java programs are generally interpreted. Okay, so here there is a concept of bytecode which actually interpreted by the another platforms. Okay, which is interpreted by the JVM. And tenth one is the high performance. Java is providing very high performance because of its strong, robust features. Okay. 11th one is the multi-threaded. Multi-threading means multiple programs executed simultaneously. Okay, so it has a feature of executing the doing the multiple tasks at the same time simultaneously. And the last one is 12, that is distributed. As Java was intended to be work on a distributed environment, that means World Wide Web. So it has a very good feature of working in the distributed environment. Okay, so that will make the Java distributed. Okay, so let us discuss all these features one by one in detailed manner. First is object oriented. Java programming is an object oriented programming language. Everything in Java is called as is it object oriented. Okay, whatever you write, whatever you create in Java is everything is object, and that makes the Java language as object oriented. Okay, so object oriented means we organize our software as a combination of different types of objects that incorporates both data and behavior. So data and behavior are bundled into one thing, and that one thing is a object. Okay, so object oriented programming is a methodology that simplifies the software development and maintenance by providing some rules. Okay, so it is a one methodology which is for with the some rules which make the programming very easy to write and easy to maintain. Okay, the next feature of Java is simple, as the Java is very easy to write and more readable and eye-catching. Why it is easy to write? Because the most of the concepts are very same as the basic core programming languages which you are already familiar. C, C++. Java has a set of features that make it easy to learn and use. There are various features which will make you easy to learn the Java programming language. Most of the concepts are from the C++, as I already told you. There is no need for header files, pointer arithmetic, structures, unions, operator overloading, virtual base classes, and so on. So whatever are the complicated concepts of C++, all are removed from Java, and that will also make the Java very simple. Okay. Next is secure. Java is intended to be used on the network or distributed environment. Okay, so that lots of emphasis has been placed on the security. Okay, Java is best known for its security as it provides as it helps to design a software virus free. Okay, so Java provides a secure means of creating the internet applications. With Java, we can develop the virus free systems. Okay, and Java is secured because of these two reasons. First, no explicit pointer. There is no explicit pointer, so memory leakage problem is solved. And second is the Java programs runs inside the virtual machine sandbox. They are not executed on the platform. They are executed on the virtual machine. Okay, so that will make the Java programming very secure. The next feature of Java is it is platform independent. It doesn't depend on the specific platform. That means the program written on the Windows is will be as it is executed on the Linux platform also. Okay. So unlike other programming languages like C, C++, when Java is compiled, it is not compiled into the platform specific machine code. Rather, into the platform independent bytecode. Okay, so here the code which is actually executed is called as the bytecode, and which is platform independent. Okay, so the Java code is compiled by the compiler and converted into the bytecode, which is understood by the machine, which is interpreted by the machine. And this bytecode will make the Java programming possible to execute from one platform to another platform, because this bytecode is independent of the platform. Okay, so this is called as write once and read anywhere. Once you write your Java code, you can execute that as you can execute that code anywhere. The next feature of Java is robust. Okay, robust means simply strong. So it has a many strong features. The strong feature of memory management. So there is a lack of pointers that avoids the security problem. So very strong security also. There is an automatic garbage collection in Java, which runs on the Java virtual machine to get rid of objects which are not being used by the Java application. So the objects which are not being used by the Java application further are automatically garbage collected, and the memory for those objects is released. So it will be available for the another applications to use. Okay. So there is a exception handling, strong exception handling mechanism and type checking mechanism in Java. All these makes the Java robust programming language. Okay. The next is portable. The portable feature is again because of its bytecode only. As with the bytecode, once you have compiled your Java code into the bytecode, that will be easily port into the another environment. Okay, so Java is portable because it facilitates you to carry your Java bytecode to any platform. Okay, and it doesn't require any implementation. Java programs can execute in any environment for which there is a JVM and Java runtime system. Okay, so Java programs can be run on any platform like Linux, Windows, Mac. You can execute your Java program on any platform. Okay, and they can be easily transferred on the web also, because Java is also used for web development. Okay, the next feature of Java is it is architectural neutral. Architectural neutral means it doesn't depend on the specific architecture. Okay, whatever is the architecture, whatever is the configuration, whatever is the processor, whether it is a 32-bit system or 64-bit system, your program will execute in the same way in both the platforms, both the architecture. Okay, so Java is not tied to specific machine or operating system architecture. Okay, the machine independent. Java is independent of the hardware. Why? Because of its bytecode only. Because the Java compiler does this by generating the bytecode instruction which have nothing to do with the particular computer architecture. The bytecode is not concerned about the architecture. Okay? Because it is independent of the architecture. It just requires a JVM, Java runtime environment, where it directly executes. Okay? Rather than they are designed to be both easy to interpret on any machine, and it is easily translated into the native machine code. For example, the size of primitive data type. When you run a C program, okay, on 32-bit system and 64-bit system, okay, the size allocated by the single integer in 32-bit system is 2 bytes. And the same on the same program, if you run on the 64-bit system, the size required for the integer type is 4 bytes. Okay, so it varies as per the architecture. But when you run the Java program on 32-bit system and 64-bit system, the size of integer is 4 bytes only, means same on both the architecture. Okay, so that's why Java is architectural neutral. The next feature of Java is dynamic. Okay, there are many features which makes the Java programming language a dynamic language. Okay, I just suppose the dynamic loading of classes. That means classes are loaded on the demand and runtime. Okay, Java supports dynamic compilation and automatic memory management. That is garbage collection. Okay, that means the objects which are not in use, which are automatically uh, garbage collected, and the memory allocated by those objects is freed. Okay, in number of ways Java is more dynamic language than the C++. If you know something about C++, you can easily compare and you can find out how Java is dynamic. Okay, it was designed to adapt to an evolving environment. It easily adjusts with whatever the environment you are executing the code. Okay, the libraries can freely add new methods and instance variables without any effect to their clients. Without any change, they are directly added. Okay. In Java, finding out the runtime type information is straightforward, which will also make the Java dynamic. The next feature of Java is interpreted. Okay, Java supports cross-platform code through the use of Java bytecode, and this Java bytecode is actually interpreted by the another platform. Okay, I give you a simple example. If two persons are talking, they don't understand each other's language. If one person is talking in English and other person is talking in Hindi, they both don't understand the other language. So the English, they need a third party who will translate or interpret their communication. So the English person will speak in English, that will be interpreted by the third person and will be converted into the Hindi, so that Hindi person will understand, and whatever is the sentences said by the Hindi person are interpreted again in English and understood by the English person. So I hope this example will clear you the concept of interpretation. Okay, so the here your third party is your bytecode. Okay, so this bytecode can be interpreted on any platform by JVM. Java Virtual Machine does this interpretation with bytecode. Okay, the Java interpreter can execute Java bytecodes directly on any machine to which the interpreter has been ported. Wherever there is an interpreter, your bytecode is easily interpreted. Java is provided a very good performance, high performance with the help of its some features. The first is with the use of JIT compiler. That means just in time compiler. This compiler compiles your Java code very faster. So that will also increase the performance of executing Java program. Second is the bytecode, which are directly interpreted. So you don't have to compile your code every time. It is directly executed on any platform, and it is automatically adjusted with the particular CPU of the application. Okay, so the bytecodes are very highly optimized. Okay, they are very optimized code, and they don't require much memory. And the JVM that can be JVM can execute them much faster. The bytecode is executed by the JVM very faster, so that will make the performance of Java very high. The next and again a very important feature of Java is multi-threading. Okay, multi-threading. Thread is called as process. Multi-threading means multiple process. When Java allows you to execute multiple process simultaneously. Like when you are writing a program, at the same time you are listening the song also, and you are taking backup of your code in the word file also. So you are doing all these three tasks simultaneously. So these three tasks are called as three threads, and this complete execution is called as multi-threading, and it is possible to write programs with such a multiple tasking in the Java with the help of multi-threading. Okay. So with Java's multi-threaded feature, it is possible to write the programs that can perform many tasks simultaneously. Okay. So the benefits of multi-threading are better interactive responsiveness and real-time behavior. The second is on the downside, the thread implementations on the major platform differ widely, and the Java makes no efforts to be platform independent. Actually, this is the problem. Okay, distributed. Okay, the Java programs are generally distributed. Java programs are generally made for working in the distributed environment. So it is designed for distributed environment to work of the internet. Java is distributed because it facilitates the users to create a distributed application in Java with the help of RMI and EJP. Okay, so these are the very advanced and good features which makes the Java programming distributed. This feature of Java makes us able to access the files calling the methods from any machine on the internet. Okay, so you can easily call any method anytime with the help of internet in the distributed environment. Okay, so that will make the Java distributed. Other than this feature, there are very important three features as it is the object-oriented programming language. These three features are very important to discuss. First is the encapsulation, second is inheritance, and third is polymorphism. Okay. Sometimes the questions also ask on these features. Encapsulation means what? Encapsulation is the binding of data and its behavior into a single unit. In the same box, you are putting its data also and putting its behavior also. Okay, the functions also. So that box is called as encapsulation, and it is implemented in Java with the help of class keyword. Okay, the encapsulation also provide a very good security mechanism, so that because as data is binded in a class, okay, so it is hidden from the outside world, okay, other codes. So your data is very secure and easily utilized. In Java, the basis of encapsulation is class, as I already told you. Class defines a structure and behavior, means data and code that will be shared by the objects. Okay, so class is actually accessed with the help of objects. Second is inheritance. What is inheritance? It is a process by which child access the properties of parents also. Okay, the children are having properties of their parents as it is. So that means the inheritance is a process by which one object acquires the properties of another object, means parent object. This is important because it supports the concept of hierarchical classification. Here you can see in example animals. Animals can be mammals and reptiles. So the mammals are also having the features of animal, and reptiles also having the features of animal. The same way. Okay, so inheritance means sharing the properties from one class to another, so that you don't have to rewrite the same thing which is already there in the parent class. Okay. Next feature is polymorphism. Polymorphism. This is a Greek word. The meaning of poly is many, and morphism means many forms. Okay, so one thing can acquire more than one form, and that is called as polymorphism. And this is again a very good feature of Java to uh, make the behavior to use the same function name for different purpose. For example, see this example. Here I have a shape class, okay, in which I have written the draw and erase function. Now, when I'm writing a circle class, that time also I want to draw and erase something. So the same function which were in the parent class shape are as it is inherited into circle. Same is inherited in the square also, and same are inherited into the triangles also. So that means I have used the same draw and same erase method which was there in the shape class. Okay, and I have reused those functions into the child classes. So this is called as polymorphism. Okay, so here we will stop in today's lecture. We have discussed features of Java programming language and what is Java. We have completed with the introduction part. Okay, see you in the next lecture. Bye bye. Thank you.